Askreddit, what is one fact you know that will make other people respond with, and why the F***K do you know that? MLB umpires are required to wear black underwear in case their pants split during a game. Enrico Pellizzo didn't. If you're trying to destroy a body, a strong base will be much more successful than a strong acid. Acids are difficult to legally acquire due to them being ingredients in explosives. Caustic soda is much more useful and accessible, as it's an ingredient in soaps. Once it's done, you'll have a liquid that you can then place in barrels and bury somewhere. Even the bones will be broken down to an extremely brittle calcium deposit, which you can easily crush and filter off. You can then dispose of the liquid as you wish. It makes great fertilizer. Alternatively, use pigs. They eat anything and will leave no traces. And once again, pig shit is great fertilizer. Edit. Christ, what a way to reach 100k karma. You outdone my comment. After Alois Alzheimer gave the first ever speech describing the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease, no one in the audience asked him any questions or made any follow-up comments, because they were all much more excited to hear the next guy on the list give a speech about compulsive masturbation. Who knew that masturbation could make you forget all about Alzheimer's? Since frogs have long tongues, they can't use it to push food down their throat like humans do, so when they have food in their mouths they close their eyes and push the food down their throats with their eyeballs. They also vomit by throwing up their entire stomach, emptying it with their hands and then swallowing their stomach again. Open the guts of a body before disposing in water so they won't inflate and are able to sink all the way to the bottom. Says the guy who is active in serial killers. Mammals from house cats to elephants take about the same time to urinate. 21 seconds on average. IIRC. Siblings, or parents and children, that were separated from one another at birth or a very young age are often extremely sexually attracted to one another if they meet later in life. The phenomenon is called genetic attraction. Didn't think it was weird to know this until I shared with my boyfriend and he was totally weirded out. Thanks, SVU. Well, Star Wars original trilogy makes sense now. Erections that last more than 4 hours are considered bad because the buildup of deoxygenated blood causes the dick to be disfigured and later cause gangrene. It's called priapism, and it's also extremely painful. In extreme cases, the penis is numbed with a local anesthetic, and blood is removed from the penis with needles and syringes. Don't take ed pills if you don't need them. Edit. As numerous people have pointed out, yes, the name is derived from the Greek god Priapus, who was regularly depicted with a massive organ. And there are many causes of priapism. Bites from certain venomous bugs, including the Brazilian wandering spider, side effects of other medications, including trazodone, spinal cord injuries, gout, STDs, sickle cell disease, cancers of the penis, etc. Also, if bloodletting with syringes is not successful, more extreme measures must be taken. These measures include the use of a scalpel, and are even more graphic in nature. I'm sure you can use your imagination. It takes more than 6 standard concrete blocks to hold a human body under water after death. Is that with or without cutting the gut open? Regarding the Museum of Mummies, Ferdinand I of Naples governed by oppression. He had zero compassion for his defeated enemies, and after falsely promising them amnesty, he had them murdered instead. After their murders, he would have them mummified and added to his museum of mummies dressed in their clothes. If he thought anyone was plotting against him, he'd simply take them on a casual tour of the museum, which was totally morbid, but effective. I too am hyped about Crusader Kings 3. Male bed bugs try to sexually penetrate everything they come into contact with, even people. Edit. Wow, my first silver. Thank you. Bed bug awareness is incredibly important. Make sure you guys check yourselves. They are very sneaky. Edit 2, a gold award too. Holy moly. To go along with this, female bedbugs don't have a sex organ, so the males have to literally stab them with their dicks. If you want to skin a human alive, you have to do it in a warm room, otherwise he will die of the cold because his skin doesn't isolate him anymore. Ahem, excuse me, what the frack? The largest walnut grove in the world is located outside the small village of Arslanbab, in mountainous southern Kyrgyzstan. Local oral legend has it the grove was planted by a migrant wise man nicknamed Arslan the Wanderer. DNA analysis of the trees has confirmed they are not native to the region and the local population came to the area from a related batch of seeds about 1,000 years ago. This is my favorite fact ITT, thanks. Sometimes, when horses are bored, they slap their dick to their underside to masturbate. Same TBH edit there. The most babies born to one woman is 69 in the 1700s. Nice. Many species of sea cucumbers have evolved to have teeth in their anus to ward off potential inhabitants. Can they eat through their anus or is it just for protection purposes? Most cruise ships are equipped with a morgue to account for any passengers who die during the voyage. I thought they yeet them into the ocean. Vibrators were the fifth domestic electrical device invented. Edit, saw it in a documentary called Original Sin Sex on Hotstar, if you wanna check it out. Because doctors were tired of masturbating women for them to relax from hysteria, IIRC. This is something my bio teacher taught me last year. Basically, male barnacles have the longest penis-to-body ratio and the penis actually extends out of the barnacle and goes searching around for female barnacles to have sex with. Stop calling Danny DeVito a barnacle. Only about 1.4% of the uranium in the atom bomb dropped in Hiroshima actually fissioned, meaning that bomb was only about 2% as strong as it could have been. Was all of it supposed to fission or is it just the nature of the way it's made that only a small part will actually fission? Why is goose geese but moose is not meese? Well, I'm glad you asked. Goose has Germanic origins and thus follows the Germanic pluralization in the same manner as foot to feet, tooth to teeth, etc. However, the word moose was incorporated into the English language some 200 years later and has Native American origins. Yay! Look at all those fucking meese. Instead of a penis, male sharks have two claspers. They're made of the same cartilage as their skeleton, and also attached to their pelvis. Edit, thanks for the gold. I can't believe my highest rated comment is about shark dicks. So legs? Only a matter of time before they evolve into land sharks. This is the real cost of climate change, boys. The human body can literally expel feces out of your mouth instead of your ass. Several terminal illnesses in late stages have fecal vomiting. It boggles my mind that you are not allowed to have a lethal dose of morphine at your own leisure if you find yourself in that horrible state late in life. Babies don't have kneecaps. Edit, this is for people whining in the comments that I'm wrong. Not after I'm done with them at least. When the Pilgrims first landed in America, they found these weird dirt mounds in a field. So they dug them up and discovered they were Native American graves. Oops. They returned everything, but then came back later to take the cooking pots and utensils that had been buried with the corpses. They apparently packed really light on the way over and didn't bring basic household essentials. Which would be really useful in, I don't know, starting a fracking colony. Boston is roughly on the same latitude as Barcelona. The Pilgrims thought they were getting a Mediterranean climate, not a freezing winter. Most of the dolphin population is the result of rape. Guilty. Ireland's rail gauge is slightly wider than the international standard, yet its tram system uses the international standard. Ah yes, a fellow rail enthusiast. Please stop with the shitty rail people. It's not funny. Most birds don't have intermittent reproductive organs like a penis or vagina, and they share their genes through a hole called a cloaca that leads to their inner organs. The act is called a cloacal kiss and is over super fast. Most duck species, however, do have intermittent organs. The penis is shaped like a corkscrew and can be 50% or more of the length if the duck in some species. This is because the vagina is an elaborate maze of twists and turns, creating an evolutionary arms race between the sexes. The longest duck dick award goes to the Argentine lake duck. Though he is a mere 15 inches long, his dangling corkscrew is up to 16 inches erect. Now that's gotta produce some drag. Edit, should be intermittent. Thanks, u_Faustus for pointing that out. Edit 2, people seem to struggle with the why females resist mating. Much like humans, female ducks like to choose the best male to reproduce with. They will make themselves available to the males they prefer, and this mechanism allows them to resist advances from the males they don't deem worthy. Thank you for that amazing info. I'll add duck dicks to the list of things that make me insecure of my penis size. The Nazis bled Soviet children dry to provide blood transfusions for injured troops. Wow, after scrolling this far down, this is the one that really got me fracked up. Human shit has a distinct smell that's different from other commonly encountered poops. You ever smell pig shit? Don't buy rabbit already skinned and gutted. Could well be cat. They look really similar if it's already skinned. You need to see the kidneys to tell they're installed in a different config. Second, don't make risky meat purchases from a Sunday market trailer in a shady part of town. You can definitely tell by the teeth. Pro tip, always get ones with the head still attached. The slitting of the front of the throat is much more improbable than most people realize, given a bone is actually blocking the spot that most see in movies, TV shows. If, in fact, a movie wanted to be more realistic, they would instead have the sides of the throat slit because of the main artery that sits in that spot. Gotta try this out someday. Thanks for the tips. Male moths can vibrate their testicles at will to throw off bats. Edit. Oh wow, my first gold, thanks guys. Did not expect this comment to get me one, but here I am. Shitty superpowers. Australian box jellyfish have 64 anuses. Finally, enough holes. The longest recorded piece of poop is 26 feet long. A typical ejaculation consists of 1 calorie. Edit. If you swallow the semen, it will give you 1 calorie. You do not burn 1 calorie. The longest recorded piece of poop is 26 feet long, and how many Keurig is that? Rubbing alcohol is a great way to get the smell of smeared poop out of skin. Hand sanitizer works wonders too. Learned from changing my kids' diapers while away from any sinks. About 1 girl out of 100.000 will have the vaginal and anal tracts fused together, meaning that they can in fact get pregnant doing anal. Do women know when they have this condition, or is it not very obvious? Butterflies taste with their hind feet. Imagine walking around NYC like that. Jeffrey Dahmer tried to make sex zombies out of some of his victims by drilling holes in their heads while they were still alive and pouring acid into the holes. I was listening to a podcast yesterday that mentioned that his last victim escaped, but had this procedure done, and when he tried to tell police, he couldn't physically communicate that he had been abducted and tortured. Dahmer caught up with him and convinced the police that the boy was just tired and needed some rest. They agreed, and let Dahmer take him back. Scary stuff. Edit, couldn't, not could. Edit. For those wondering, the podcast was Full Body Chills, episode, an open letter to my best friend. The reference was made in passing. It wasn't specifically about Dahmer. But it was made by the same team that does Crime Junkie, so I have no reason to doubt its validity. You can hang yourself in 3 ways: rope really short, suffocation, medium length rope, break neck, really long rope, decapitation. Yep. The British Empire in the 1800s had hangings down to a perfect system. They knew exactly how long to set the rope based off of size and weight of the condemned to achieve the perfect neck break every time. They were also incredibly efficient in the actual process of hanging someone. It took them very little time to do it. Please subscribe. Multiple videos uploaded daily.